Hey guys, welcome back to Rough and Stitch Options Trading. And this evening, I want to do a quick recap on the stocks ETF I'm looking at going into next week. So on my screen here, I have XLF. So XLF is the financial sector ETF. So looking at this, I really like XLF. Right now, it's at about $54.27. If coming into the trading section, XLF opens about here, then that's definitely relative strength. Someone could enter at about this area, go with it to the previous all-time high. XLF has been backed by several stocks here, BSC, JPM, PNC. So we'll look at that in a minute. So Bank of America, BSC. BSC, a good entry point would have been right at $53.41. And let me show you why. So we had this previous resistance right here. So let me do this. We had this right here. We had that. And then we have this candle right here. We have this candle right here. So this area, 53.41, would have been the ideal place to enter BSC. But right now, it's too far gone and you don't want to enter trades and seem like you're chasing, because if it does a pullback, then you're going to start panicking. It's doing a pullback, you're losing money, and so on and so forth. So this one is gone, you don't want to chase it, but BSC is backing up XLF. Let's look at hood. Hood. I don't really like, in my opinion, I don't really like Hood. I know there's some guys out there buying the dip. Good for them. According to my plan, I want Hood to come to this area that I've circled right here. Because my key interest is this area right here previously. I want to see who would come back this area, and then I will revisit my bias and see if I'm interested in Hood or not. Until then, let's see who'd come back to this box area here. 110 would be ideal. So let's wait and see if Hood comes back to that area. JPM, um, I really like JPM. I honestly really like JPM. Looking at JPM, same thing as I was looking on BSC. You had this resistance, you have a resistance, you have some type of, pullback to the weekly 21. You see the picture comes back straight again right here. You have that candle, you have that candle. Now, two things on this type of setup. Let me get these ones out. So you could have entered into this trade on the breakout right here at 308. A second place you would have entered into this trade was at 311, this breakout candle at 311. A third place that you can enter this trade would be about this box that I have here, this area right here. But if you enter in this type of area, you want to have a very tight stop loss, so that if JPM decides to pull back all the way down here, you're not having a huge drawdown. So I'm really liking JPM. If it continues to show relative strength going into next week, I'm looking to enter this area and go with it back to the previous all-time high. Let's look at PNC. PNC is too far gone. I can't even enter this because it's just too far gone. But there's a concept I wanted to teach you guys here that I keep teaching, and that is a consolidation breakout. I mean, I've showcased this pattern. It was on UNP, the trade that we currently still have open. It was on UNP. It was in another trade that we did, Amazon. That was before January. Consolidation breakout. So we see a consolidation. You have these candles showing support right here, not breaking that area. So you've confirmed support right here. You have buyers that are showing up right here. So PNC, let's say just for giggles that, remove all these candles right here. PNC, the ideal place to enter would have been on this breakout right here, about 189, 190. Yep, 189, 190, and held on to this to the previous all-time high. You would have trimmed some of your contracts or shares right there, left some, went to the previous all-time high, trimmed some here. I mean, that would have been my profit target too, and just exited that trade because now PNC is going went to this previous all-time high from 2022, surpassed that, and it went up to 242. But anyway, this would have been my profit target one right here, and then this would have been my profit target too, and then just wait and see what it does. But the thing bazookaed all the way to 242. Anyway, this is too far gone, can't even chase this trade. But anyway, PNC is also backing XLF, and why I'm really interested in XLF. um this is WFC, that is Wells Fargo. Again, Wells Fargo, too far gone. A nice entry would have been, let me take all these things out. A nice entry would have been the breakout right here. Look at this resistance here. Look at this resistance here. Then look at this candle right here, this green candle right here. This would have been the ideal place to enter with a move back to the previous all-time high. Visa is showing a lot of chop, chop, chop going on. Not really interested in this because there is no decision if are we going up, are we going down. We're just going up and down like a whipsaw, too much whipsaw. So I'm not interested in that. I want to see what happens if it gets to 338, this area right here. I want to see what happens when it gets that area. So until then, I'm not really interested in Visa. If it decides to bazooka, well and good, but I need it. I need it to fulfill what's in my plan so I can consider that. Mastercard. Mastercard, I need Mastercard. So it's showing relative strength. Again, these are some of the things back in XLF. I need to see MasterCard open about 557 if you're interested in that, about 557, and continue showing relative strength. But at the same time, the thing I don't like is I'm seeing too much choppiness going on in this area. There's too much buying and selling, going in this area. So again, like Visa, I need to see a nice green solid candle come right about here, and then I can reconsider MasterCard. However, anyway, this is 556. So anyway, it's a bit too expensive. Visa, the same, it's a bit too expensive. So I'm gonna leave those out. But we've gone through WFC. It's a bit too gone, but I'm very much interested in JPM, and I'm very much interested in XLF because it's been backed up by BAC, JPM, and Hood. So I'm very much interested in XLF. So anyway, guys, that's my watch list for next week. I want to see what happens in the financial sector. So we'll catch you guys next week. Thank you. Good evening, and enjoy watching the Super Bowl. See you guys.